It is wonderful to see all of you today. My name is Barbara George, President of the Cuesta College Board of Trustees. And on behalf of Trustees Mullen and Sysak and Strobridge, I welcome you today for this special event here in our Cuesta College Cultural and Performing Arts Center. I'm very pleased to welcome members of the media and members of our retired faculty and staff, our supporters, our employees here today, because today's news is about a very special gift to Cuesta College. This college has been so fortunate to have loyal supporters and a strong volunteer foundation board of directors. These people lead the fundraising efforts for the programs and scholarships so successful at Cuesta College. The inspiration for innovation and leadership comes from the top. So let's go right to the top and bring Dr. Gil Stork, Superintendent President, to the podium.
Good afternoon. It's nice to see all of you here today. It reminds me of church. So as Dr. George mentioned, we're here today to celebrate the next step in an amazing relationship that started a long time ago. As the president of Cuesta College and over my 51-year career, I've seen many relationships blossom. Relationships between faculty and students, businesses and newly hired alumni, and today the relationship of a special friend with the college. Harold J. Miosi was an alum of the old San Luis Obispo Junior College. Go Vikings. He was a member and former president of our foundation board of directors, and over the decades he demonstrated his commitment to many areas, including education. We've received many gifts from the Harold J. Miosi Charitable Trust, including a $250,000 gift in support of the art gallery, which now bears Harold's name, the Harold J. Miosi Art Gallery, and $1 million to help us launch the campaign for the second year of the Cuesta Promise. I'm honored today to stand before you to share the very latest and largest gift from the Harold J. Miosi Trust, a gift of $1.5 million in support and an investment in the fine and performing arts at Cuesta College. This gift will transform the ongoing programs at the Harold J. Miosi Art Gallery and lay the groundwork for facilities updates here in the Cultural and Performing Arts Center. It is the largest gift to the arts in the college's history, and because of the significant impacts of the gift, Cuesta College is pleased to name this building we are in today the Harold J. Miosi Cultural and Performing Arts Center. Now don't go outside and expect to see that sign up there. But this is the image that we have coming. And at this point, I want to invite my very good friend, former student, and trustee for the Harold J. Miosi Charitable Trust, Howard Carroll, to join me at the podium to share his vision and how this gift came to be. Harold, will you please join me?
So if you noticed, Gil called me Harold. I am Howard, I'm not Harold. But Harold and I were very good friends for many years, and we would eat lunch together 2 or 3 times a week. And we'd sit there, and people would come up and they'd say, "Hello, Howard." They couldn't say our names correctly. And Harold would say, "I'm not Howard, I'm Harold. I'm not as stupid as Howard." And I'd say, "And I'm Howard, not Harold. I'm not as ugly as Harold." So we played that over and over and over. And I always attribute to that error, and if you go Howard Carroll, and if you say it real fast, it's Harold. So there you go. Thank you, Gil. Well, it's with great pleasure that the Miosi Trust accepts the naming of the Cultural and Performing Arts Center after Harold Miosi. But truth be told, Cuesta College earned it. Now, why do I say that? Philanthropy for the Miosi Trust is a process. At Cuesta College, it started in 2011 with funding a computerized ticket system for this theater. In addition, we funded a curriculum analysis for the viticulture and enology program. As you heard today, agriculture programs are taking off. In 2012, we provided funds for the college transportation assistance so students could get to college without paying. In addition, we funded 6 students to compete in the Skills USA student competition in Kansas City. And you see how these early funds have been used and expanded, and now this program has taken off. Following 2012, we became the lead sponsor in College Night at Cuesta campus. This program is providing high school students counseling for college admissions. It's done with a partnership with the Community Foundation, the San Luis Obispo Office of Education, and Cuesta College. 2018 will be the 4th year we've been the lead sponsor, and we're currently looking at ways to expand this program into the North County. As 2014 rolled out, the Miosi Trust wanted to take a larger position at Cuesta College. I met with the foundation and Shannon, and I said, "What can we do?" We strolled the campus, we talked about different options, and we came to the art gallery that had been closed for several years. That was our project. We invested $250,000 over 5 years and turned a piece of coal into a diamond. In the fall of 2016, at the lunch that Gil alluded to this afternoon, he made his announcement of the Promise 2 vision that he had. He showed again what tremendous leadership the college has had. I asked him, as he said, to meet. I would like to be a part of that, and by the time I got to the car with my wife, Vicki, we decided to pledge $1 million. Now it's 2018, and here we are in this beautiful theater and center, and the Miosi Trust is being recognized for a gift that will enhance and promote both college and community accessible programming for the visual and performing arts. But remember my opening remark? Truth be told, Cuesta College earned it. While the college was investing grant funds in a variety of different projects over 6 years, I was observing the process and assessing their skills. What kind of leadership do they have? Are programs being supported by the president, by the foundation, by the faculty and staff? Are they using the money that has been granted correctly? Are they wasting money? Are interim and final reports complete, timely, on budget, and accurate? If a program has a deficiency, do they work on a solution? Is their course of action clear? Is the college benefiting, and is the community benefiting from these resources? My conclusion was their stewardship of Miosi grant funds was excellent, and I needed to find another project. And this grant is the conclusion of that search. Thank you, Gil. Thank you, the foundation and Shannon and Karen, and thank you, faculty and staff, because for your individual and collective efforts, you made this gift possible. I would be remiss if I didn't make a few comments about Mr. Miosi. Mr. Miosi was a lifetime resident of San Luis Obispo, where he was born, lived, and died in the same house, the La Cuesta Ranch, which is adjacent to the eastern property line of Cal Poly. And thinking about how to characterize Mr. Miosi, it's a difficult task. He was a bright, complex man with many passions. But I believe I can oversimplify him by dividing his life into 3 phases. The first phase is when he returned to San Luis Obispo in 1943 after graduating from Cal Berkeley with a Phi Beta Kappa in economics. And he returned to San Luis Obispo to farm and raise cattle. In 1960, he became the only inheritance tax appraiser for San Luis Obispo County. That was a position that he would hold for 35 years. And this was not an elected position. This was an appointed position by the State Controller of California, who was elected every 4 years. So every 4 years there was a different controller. Harold would have to reapply for his position as the inheritance tax appraiser. So considering different personalities, considering different party affiliations, and considering the political power that the state controller had in appointing people to this position, his tenure for 35 years was very unusual. But the first phase that I'm talking about is not what he accomplished in agriculture and business, but what he did with the environment. During the 50s, 60s, and 70s, he was an outspoken leader protecting the environment of San Luis Obispo County. Every tree, plant, creek, animal, and view had a spokesman. He fought for open space, view sheds, protection of the environment, and many of the elements of sound planning that had not been observed. This certainly came at a cost. At that period of time, it was not popular for agriculturalists to restrict the use of their own property. When I asked him, "Wasn't it tough lining up against your fellow farmers and cattlemen?" his reply was, "What did I care? My goal was for the whole community, not the individual." He was a tough guy. The second phase was in the late 70s and 80s until his retirement in 1995. During this period, the audience had changed. He no longer was at the podium. Now he worked in the background as a member of many city and county advisory and committees, boards, environmental groups. He assisted in crafting environmental regulations, water management, land use regulations, and historic documents that set policy for future generations. He also made time to be president of the Cuesta Foundation for 5 years and chairman of the Santa Lucia chapter of the Sierra Club. All of Harold's personal notes and documents of his environmental advocacy are preserved as an archive at the Cal Poly Library, and for historians and environmentalists to research. They're commonly known as the Miosi papers. Sounds kind of sinister, but more importantly, during this phase of his life, he cared for his mother at their La Cuesta Ranch until her death at 97. And for any of us who have cared for an elder, you know how difficult a task this can be. Now we are in phase 3. Harold died in November 2006. As a planner, as always, he made provisions in his will for a trust to be established at his death to benefit several areas of his interest. In addition, he appointed me as the trustee. The trust was funded in 2011, and year to date, the trust has provided grants and pledges of over $7.6 million. 98% of those funds have been invested in San Luis Obispo and surrounding areas, the community that he loved. Thank you. Phase 3 is a work in process. The Miosi Trust seeks to take lead roles in projects in which we believe. The Cuesta Art Gallery, Cultural and Performing Arts Center is an example of that. A school matinee program at the Performing Arts Center of Cal Poly is another example. The school matinee program provides 10,000 grammar and middle school students an opportunity to see a stage performance at no cost. The goal for 2018 and 19 is to provide 12,000 students an opportunity. And again, at no cost. I've been asked, why is the Cultural Performing Arts Center naming only 15 years? Which I should have said that a little earlier, but the naming that Harold has is sunsets in 15 years. When considering this gift, the naming was included, and I thought, well, what would Harold say to having a building named after him? I think he would have said, "Are you crazy? I don't want anything named after me." So I would have countered that with, well, if we sunset your naming in 15 years, then the foundation and the college can find a new donor, thereby doubling or tripling the funding opportunities that they have. He said, "That's a great idea, let's do it." Philanthropy is not being selfish, but being innovative and creative, building a bridge or a mechanism for continued support of the recipient's mission. I believe this gift has met that goal. Before Harold went to Cal Berkeley to study economics, he attended the San Luis Obispo Junior College at the high school in San Luis. And he told me many times, if it wasn't for the junior college, I would never have been where I am today. So you think about that. Here's a man who believed the community college was the foundation of his career. I've attended several of Gil's ceremonies at Cuesta, and I've heard past graduates say over and over the same thing. Cuesta College was the basis for their careers, for everything they did after that. And that tells me that Cuesta College is doing its job. And the Miosi Trust believes in Cuesta College, its mission, its role in the community, and we intend to provide support where we are, where we are able to assist the college in meeting their goals. So in closing, thank you for recognizing this great environmentalist, businessman, philanthropist, who continues to support his community 12 years after he died. Thank you.
Thanks again, Howard, right? Well, it's hard because my middle name's Harold. So, Howard, thank you very much for your continued trust and belief in Cuesta College and your willingness to follow the dream of Harold Miosi in honoring what we do here at Cuesta College. Our students and our programs greatly benefit from the work you do on behalf of Harold. And at this time, we'll be here to take any questions or answer any questions or meet with any of the media reps that are here today. And I'd like to thank all of you again so much for coming today and being part of this unique and special announcement. We'll be placing the new name on this building this summer in time for the opening day for fall semester. And you know, even though that Harold and working through Howard set a 15-year limit, we're not going to put it up with Velcro. We are going to have a permanent installment, and then we'll see what happens 15 years from now. So again, I want to thank you for coming, being part of it. I hope this was educational for you, as well as you get that sense of feeling that this is something really special for Cuesta College and for our community. So thank you very much again for coming.